Well, gamers, here we are getting a rare double upload. So today I'm talking about Zenless and Zero, and well, they're changing the whole game. Yep, it's insane to see this, but they were serious when oh my god, there's mosquito. Did I get it? I did. I got the mosquito. Huge, bro. I can beat One Punch Man with them reflexes. I got the mosquito midair. I couldn't even see the thing. Anyways, as I was saying, they're changing the whole game, and it's very impressive that the devs are this receptive to feedback. It is insane. I commend them. Credit where credit is given. This is the first time I'd say Hoyoverse has done a fantastic job, knocked it out of the park, because the responses and the quick turnaround and the drive to keep pushing to make the game better far exceeds their other games. This is fantastic. The ZZZ team has done a fantastic job. Applause where applause should be given. And now we got to talk about the changes, right? Because some of them are good. There's one that I am a bit concerned about, right? Now, I don't understand Chinese, so I will not be watching the full video. And also, they did actually make a mistake. So, the one on the main page doesn't have English subtitles on it. The one on the Japanese page does. So, they kind of messed up the subtitles, but it's fine. Because they provided a TLDR that we'll be going over, because this is the main talking point that we have here. A lot of really, really good stuff. And yeah, let's hop into it. I do apologize in advance because there's not going to be any background music. You know what? Let me pause and open up Zenless. All right, now that we have our background music, it's time to glaze this game because, my god, they keep taking W's. And yeah, Zenless, best gacha game out right now. I don't know if I'm going to title it that. That could be clickbait, but it is what it is. Regardless, W changes, let's get into them. So, as I said, they provided TLDR. I'm not sure if there's any difference between the two. Looks like they're going to be the same. But yeah, let's go over them. So, as you may have seen, they will be adding a function for us to control the agents while in the overworld, right? Very pog. Currently, it's only going to be Bernice and Caesar. And in 1.4, proxies will be able to play as any of the agents, right? I don't know if they're going to add them exactly in 1.3. But by 1.4, everybody will be in there. I mentioned this in my last video over the 10 massive changes. Fantastic to see that. Actually, the funny thing is I made this video for them, and then they go and make the dev version of it where they're going in depth about the reasons for it. And again, I'd love to watch it to figure out all the reasons, but once again, it's not fully in English, and I'd have to spend over 30 minutes like reading the actual text and all that, stuff, right? And I got school stuff to use, guys. College student for game design, I got to yap about something. But yeah. Again, very cool change. I love to see it. Fantastic that they're finally adding the fact that we can walk around as characters. Everybody knows we just want to walk around as Jane Doe all day, and we'll spend 20 hours doing so, right? We won't even sleep. Just straight 20 hours of Jane Doe. Other 5 hours or other 4 hours are eating. Jane Doe. Number 2, it adds Fairy Auto Explore mode, which for some commissions of the TV mode gameplay that proxies have already completed, fulfill certain conditions. Fairy will gather the unclaimed observation data and rewards from previous attempts. As I said, very good feature. It's going to help cut down on like the waste of time that it may take to rerun a mission, because some of the missions get kind of long, right? So this is going to be huge. That this is a new feature that they're going to allow us to just easily get them after we clear it, we meet the conditions, boom. Then we can just set Fairy off to do it automatically in case we miss something. Huge, and yeah, W change. Love to see it. Now, this does matter a lot for, because it's cutting out some TV gameplay, and this is one of the major things they focus on the changes, because they got so much negative feedback. Or I say negative feedback, but they got so much feedback for people not liking the TVs at the start of the game. But those people, I don't think, gave the game enough of a chance, because this game is awesome. And this is reflected in a lot of the changes they made, and a further change that the one I was a bit concerned about that I'll talk about once we get there. But this is a W for not having to rerun those explore missions. Love to see it. Number 3, adds a backup battery charge system when the proxy's battery recharge reaches or exceeds an upper limit. The battery back charge will continuously accumulate up to 2,400 points. Just like Star Rail, W change. Love to see it for anybody who may be overcapping on their energy and or, couldn't play for a week, something like that, or didn't play for a bit. They're come back and they've got, a good amount of energy stored up. So love to see it. Number 4 adds the Blitz operation mode to Hollow Zero. This mode will let proxies jump straight into combat without having to explore a TV board. Upon clearing challenges, proxies can obtain investigation points to complete the weekly bounty commissions. I did cover this in my other video. Once again, I cannot tell you if this will grant you your 150 Z merits per run. Again, you get 6 runs per week of 150 Z merits, right? I cannot confirm, just like in my previous video, whether or not this Blitz mode will give you those Z merits, right? Hopefully it does. But at the same time, that would make the base version useless. So, or almost useless. The base version would still give you certain Rizona, and so you could do like certain combinations if you plan it right and have strategy. This won't do that. So we'll have to see how this plays out in the actual game, because there's a lot of questions about this mode that can't really be answered because they have seemingly not gotten enough detail, but it's fine because stuff like that I think is great to leave the players to discover. So totally fine that they're leaving the details out there. But it's nice that they are, again, so receptive to feedback. They're going to push stuff like this to eliminate that a lot of people didn't like. But here's the thing, I actually really like the TVs, and I think it has been implemented well in some cases. Obviously not all cases, but within a further change number 6 is going to be one I actually suggested a while back. Many people have stuck around the channel. You know, they've known my position on this. I'll continue though. Number 5, this one's really big and is unique to Zenless that other Hoyo games have not done, right? Adds new ways to obtain notorious hunt materials, which is the weekly boss materials. Once the weekly reward limit is reached, so the 3 free ones that we can do, proxies can spend battery charge to obtain more materials. Meanwhile, the selectable core skill materials chest will be available in the Outpost Logic shop, where proxies can exchange for materials needed. Insane. So not only are they allowing us to select core skill materials, right? It says this. Meanwhile, selectable core skill material chest will be available in the shop. You can also keep doing it after the reward limit is reached. Now, I do know the amount, it's going to be 60 energy, but here's the thing. This game no longer has any weekly lockout on the bosses. And they're introducing this with a new weekly boss and new characters that are going to use that weekly boss. So that means day 1, if you've got the energy saved up, you can max out Caesar, you max out Bernice, both of them, and future characters. This is huge. None of these other games have this feature, and they're implementing it here, as well as a shop to buy the ones you want. This is insane. They are just opening up the weekly grind so you can grind when you want to. Fantastic. Or as long as you have energy, that is, right? It's a gacha game. But yeah, this is huge. This is fantastic change. Love to see it. And yeah, that's really about it. I don't think even better than that, man. I mean, unlocking bosses, it's huge. Surprised it's not in any of the other games. But yeah, big W, I'll be honest. Like, it's crazy to see. Obviously, there's going to be a limit to the rewards, but we'll see where that plays out. It's just the fact that they've completely uncapped it and you can grind it up it's cinema. Game is absolute cinema. Now here's the controversial one, the one that I am concerned about. Change number 6. In the upcoming version of 1.2 main story and the excuse me, they put and grammar. Let me check what it says here. In the upcoming version 1.2 main story and important future storylines. Okay. The TV mode will be replaced with story stages as the major means of experience. This optimization will also be implemented in the main story in future versions. Now here's the thing. I like the TV mode. It is good addition to the game. It gives the game character, and it does provide a good experience when done correctly. The main problem with it in the main story is that it kind of took out some of the main experiences, like the fact that people were on a train during Act 1, right? During the Chapter 1, the whole train segment, it just goes through the TV stages, and it takes you out of it because you would think you'd be on on a train, tight corners, you'd be going through the tunnels, right? Exploring and feeling it out, right? Additionally, there's a part later on where the robots and Koleda's story crash through the TV system instead of crashing through the map, right? Both of these interactions, I think, could have been done on the map. and it would have been pretty cool. And that's what it's seemingly like they're going to do, right? They're seemingly going to create story stages where you play on the map and actually do it. And this is what I suggested they do from the beginning. Have story-based stages where we go through the map and do stuff. There's a part where there's multiple missions where you do this. You go into investigation mode with Qingyi and a couple other characters and other things. And you can see this in some of the rally commissions and some other missions, like the newer missions. They've done this in the newer missions where you do everything on the map. I think this is good. I think it's beneficial for the game to do everything on the map. It happens in the map. So like you chasing down a person, that happened on the TV system for one of the missions. That hopefully happens on the map, right? You collecting clues, right? Hopefully that happens on the map. Now, granted, the clue board could be TVs. Totally fine, nothing wrong there. But you going around the map picking up the clues, I think would be great for the actual story, right? The downside is that, well, the TVs are seemingly gone, right? Which again, I like it. I think it's good as long as it's done in a reasonable manner, right? A lot of people said there's too many of them. There realistically wasn't. There really was not a lot of TVs. And in fact, even now, because they've already been doing this, to be honest with you, this is just them saying it outright, but they've already been doing this. There's less TVs now than there were at the launch, like overall, because they just added a bunch of combat missions, a bunch of stuff that there's no TVs, and like there's hardly any TV gameplay outside of Hollow Zero. That's what it's going to be. So it's kind of sad to see it's gone, especially because I like it. Now, granted, we'll see how this plays out for events. I think Camellia Golden Week was one of the best events that Hoyo has ever made for any other games, flat out. Like Camellia Golden Week, really good event. It was fun. It's a good event. Gave you good rewards. And so we'll see how this plays out in the future in terms of how they're going to implement these changes. But I think this is a good thing overall for the health of the game in terms of people that quit. I don't think it's going to bring them back, but I do think it's going to cut down on tediousness and, if done correctly, help with the flow of the story and not take people out. Because that was one of the main things that like Gotcha Smack mentioned in his video, is that the TVs took him out of, experiencing that good story. So we'll see how this plays out. Again, I understand why people didn't like it. I do like it. However, I do think some of the story things could have been done in the map, and that's seemingly what they're doing. So we'll see how this plays out. Very interested to see what their actual change is going to be. And so hopefully we can, we'll see like in detail version of that later. They'll explain it, or maybe not. We'll just have to figure it out, is what it is. But yeah, sucks that we're not going to do it. There's going to be some immersion breaking because we're not going to understand like, oh, this is the MC's view of the Hollow, right? Stuff like that, and like, how does that affect like the previous stories we've already done? Like, how's it going to affect, the stuff going in the future, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's so many questions around this, right? I know a lot of people are going to be like, let's go, less TV, blah, blah, blah. But like, for me, it's here nor there. And so like my thoughts on this are kind of conflicted. They're confusing. They're all over the place. And so I apologize if I'm not explaining this correctly, but I do think this will be good generally for a lot of people that just hated it. As for me, somebody who liked it, it's here nor there. I do think it sucks because that experience is going to be, basically gone outright. But I do think there was a place for it in this game. And so, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know how to describe it. I guess is bittersweet the correct way to describe that. I don't know. Conflicted is what I'll say for this. It can be good or bad. We'll see. I think it's leaning towards good because it will. I think it's leaning towards good for the community because there are a lot of people that quit the game because of the TVs, which I think is just silly, to be honest with you. Maybe they'll try it out again and they'll enjoy it because, as I've been saying, if you keep it up the channel, I do think this is the best gacha game out right now. It's amazing, and they just keep making massive W's. Like again, like credit where credit's due. They're responding to the feedback. They're acting on it, all of it. So again, we'll see what this goes forward. But yeah, I think the developers have been doing a really good job with Zenless, right? As for future plans, right? Not to make it so like depressing. Again, like this change is I would say controversial one. But regardless, moving on. Plans for future optimizations. We are currently exploring the optimization options regarding the shared decibels when agents use ultimates in combat. We will also continue to optimize the logic enemy lock-on function and add more types of enemies with varied combat animations. So first off, the lock-on change, thank you. There's been some little goofy moments where it's like the tentacle from the Navia like pops up, and then you can't hit a box right next to it, but you want to hit the box. Hopefully they're gonna fix that. Secondly, the shared decibels thing. I don't mind the ult system how it is, but there's a lot of people that for whatever reason want to use their shitty ults on their other characters. I'm gonna say it, they're shitty. Example, Caesar. There's no reason to use Caesar's ultimate if you looked at her kit at all, right? But if they allow me to use it, I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to be using the DPS ultimate because there's no reason to use anything but a DPS ultimate in this game. Just flat out, right? Maybe there will be in the future, or like you can argue high investment builds. I actually do want to do it because you could use Caesar and then 2 DPS ultimates, or like however they back portion it out, or like however they change it, right? Or maybe. I don't care about that. So they're looking into the ult system. We'll see how that plays out. But personally, I don't care. I will say the lock-on stuff is good. New modes in Hollow Zero are currently under development. W, I'll take it. I don't even need to read the rest of it. New Hollow Zero is always cool. We will focus on combat diversity by introducing new challenges to combat mechanics. Or new changes, my bad, sorry. We will also be adding more enjoyable TV mode gameplay. We will also add more enjoyable TV mode gameplay. Interesting. So the wording of more enjoyable TV mode gameplay. Are they going to add puzzles to the TV mode in a new mode of Hollow Zero? That could be cool. Love to see that. You know, we'll see what happens, but that's interesting. I think it's a good change. More battle rank criteria will be added. Some combat stages will introduce new challenge targets based beyond time limits. To be honest, I don't know what this means. I think this is kind of like Disputed Node, where they said keep your characters alive and they do a lot of damage. We'll see. But again, glad they're addressing this stuff, right? Number 4, an agent accompany mode will be added. First off, we can already kind of like go on dates. Does that mean I can put them in my room now? Proxies will be able to hang out with their favorite agents in the city, interact with them. I've thought about this since reading this. I wonder if they're going to have the agents follow us around the city. That'd be so huge. And like, super gooner. You walk around with Jane Doe and Ju-Yuan just like vibing, you know, like you get what I mean. But yeah, huge for immersion, and I think just huge for the game. It's got that more dating sim aspect that, you know, like Persona fans would like, or whatever the hell it is. I don't play the game. Don't listen. Don't get mad at me, Persona fans. I'm just saying. But yeah, this is very interesting to see. I want to know what this and the details of this. We will also be continuously improving models for some agents like My Abby to provide proxies with an improved visual experience. So this one's funny. Her eyes are too far apart, and it's what a lot of people commented on. You know, you can see multiple shots of it, right, in terms of how she kind of looks a bit off, right, especially compared to her model or her like splash art, where it's much closer together. She's got like a smaller face profile in general. Now, granted, if we actually do look at the model, wherever that image was, where was it? I clicked off of it. Now I can't find it. This one. I do. Besides the face, I think they're probably gonna fix like the coloring on different parts of her model. Like again, she's gonna get a model update. I don't know how much it's gonna entail, but definitely, I'm pretty sure they're just pointing out it's the eyes. I do wish I could understand the language so I could, you know, actually watch the video. But yeah, 100% it's like the eyes, right? So it's cool that they're pointing that out. They're aware of it. We'll see how she gets updated. And then 5, a client resource management function will be added. Proxies will be able to reduce their package size by managing the in-game resources. This is kind of like uninstalling the different voice packs like in Star Rail or Genshin. So it's gonna be cool for you to save a bit of space. And yeah. What do you guys think? Because I think basically all these are great. While I'm conflicted about the TV change, it's really here nor there. Hopefully the people that wanted this get what they want. I'm not too upset because the rest of the game is really good, and it seems that they're going to continue marching forward and making it awesome. So I'm happy about that. And so yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe to me on Twitch. Tell me what you think down below about the changes. What changes are you looking forward to, or what changes do you want? You know, I got some good responses in the last video going over changes, so we'll we'll see exactly what you guys have to say about this one. Maybe I'll do a response video, who knows. Once again, though, if I can hit 10k subscribers by the end of the year, I will summon for my Abby in a maid outfit, the Ellen Joe maid outfit specifically. So don't forget to, hit the like, subscribe. And so, yeah, I'll just end off this video with good job. Good job, Zenless team. You guys are awesome, doing some good stuff. If you keep this up, I will continue to glaze you. It's just that simple. Me, the #1 fastest growing Zenless glazer out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.